I'm just going to repeat that again. They said the Big Ten is expected to get $1.5 billion with the B.
It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Juju the Game here on Juju Sports Corner, and I had to throw that clip of is it the former now chairman of the WWE? Yeah. Vince McMahon, a wild boy, but that clip is hilarious. Okay, so with that clip also let us know what we're going to be talking about today, because I had heard front office sports had said a while ago that NBC and CBS might be the new media partners for the Big Ten along with Fox. Now, when that story had broke, I thought it was interesting, but I'm like, he's the only real person saying this, like it's a legit possibility. Then today, Sports Business Journal basically broke the news that this is coming, like this is happening, like the Big Ten conference is only going to be on Fox, CBS, and NBC, and give or take Amazon or Apple streaming. Just give or take that. And it is so crazy that they're cutting out ESPN, because since in my lifetime, the Big Ten has been on ESPN. It has been on ESPN, but as a Big Ten fan, I noticed recently when ESPN decided to go all in on the SEC a couple years back, even when it's just, let's just say it's a Big Ten game. Like let's say Ohio State is playing Penn State, right? Because that game is normally on ESPN. That game is rarely on Fox. Because that's a night game. So it's normally on ESPN. Instead of, they will have a portion of the game where they're not even talking about what's happening on the field. Now, granted, they are talking about the playoffs, but even outside of talking about, how this game will impact playoff standings, they will talk about the SEC ad nauseum, and it's just like, bro, can we talk about the game? Can we talk about how whoever wins this game will impact, the playoffs? If either one of these teams loses, what's going to happen? And that's just something that's been frustrating me as someone that's been pretty much grown up in the Big Ten. But enough of me rambling. Let's check out these tweets that let me know that, this is real. This is real. This is real. This is happening. So, hit the wrong button. So when I saw this tweet, I immediately was like, oh, this is happening. This is real. This is legit. So Brett McMurphy said the Big Ten is finalizing media rights deal with Fox Sports, CBS, and NBC. Sources told Action Network headquarters, first reported by Uran at Sports Business Journal. Unless there is a last-minute change, aka ESPN throwing the bag, this will be the first time in 40 years the Big Ten football and basketball will not be on ESPN. That is wow. Wow. I didn't even realize that. I've been so focused on it being football, I didn't realize that basketball would also be a part of this. And that's wow, that will actually be weird to me. The football's not weird because, hey, I watch the NFL literally all day Sunday, starting from Fox to CBS to NBC. The football wise, that doesn't really change for me per se, but the basketball will. So does it mean that CBS will handle Big Ten basketball? Because I know CBS does have a NCAA basketball station. Well, for CBS they do, because I know they help run the March Madness. But yeah, I didn't even realize that. That's insane. For basketball too? Wow, that is... All right, let's bring it to the... And so this is what I mean by, like, we kind of already see this with the NFL. So at the NFL, all the noon games pretty much are on Fox. Literally all of the non-important games of the day, sounds like 1 or 2, are on Fox. Are on the noon window, which is Fox or CBS, the noon window. And then whatever that game of the week is will be on CBS. That the games of the week, they'll probably either have like 1 or 2 games. I'm talking about the NFL. They'll have like 1 or 2 games on CBS and Fox, and then that primetime game will be on NBC primetime. That's Sunday Night Football. So this got me thinking that this is what I believe like they're going to do with the Big Ten. So Fox has the first pick of the litter. So unfortunately for me, I'm still gonna have to be getting up early to prep this season, because I plan on continuing this channel throughout the NFL season, and more often than not, Ohio State is playing at noon. Yay. That kind of sucks. I just realized that kind of sucks. So so for me, Ohio State will most likely be playing noon. They might be getting CBS or NBC games depending on what game CBS and NBC picks. But that also means like Michigan and Penn State or even Sparty will be CBS and NBC. So it all depends on what games Fox wants first, and then probably what games NBC wants second. Because you got to have the primetime game, the primetime windows max, and then that third team could be a competitive match. And then the money rating schools will probably join once every blue moon. But to me, I feel like that will change with USC and UCLA coming, because they're on the West Coast. A noon game for them is like at 9 in the morning. That's not gonna work. That's not a good time to really, for them. Not at 9 in the morning. No. So their games will most likely be happening at the 3:30 window. And then if they have a big game, that'll probably be that primetime game more often than not. At least they won't be in that 10:30 window, which is what ESPN had. Every huge Pac-12 game had them at 10:30. Like, bro, why? Unless something zany has happened, I'm not staying up to watch this game. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. Unfortunately, now this is where it gets crazy. So we don't even know what the numbers are for Fox and NBC. We don't even know, but Front Office Sports said that the Big Ten will be getting $1.5 billion. I'm just going to repeat that again. They said the Big Ten is expected to get $1.5 billion with the B. And that's just crazy to me, because if CBS is giving up $350 for one game of the week, which is not even the prime time game, which is what they had with the SEC, which is why they didn't want to pay up. Well, actually, they did pay up. ESPN outbid them. But this is more than what they were expected to pay for the SEC. This is more than what ESPN is paying the SEC for their big time game. The SEC has given out $300 million for the SEC, and that's their prime time game. The CBS is giving up $350, and that's not even a prime time game. But while this all sounds insane because this money is huge, this also makes sense, because if you think about it, think of the markets that the Big Ten is going to be in when USC and UCLA come into the fold. So that's going to be Chicago, New York, in LA. Those three cities alone are they 1, 2, and 3 of the most populated cities in the US? And then you add in Philly with Penn State. Yeah, the money these conferences are, the money that SEC and the Big Ten is getting is insane. And I sincerely hope that this means the players are about to get some kind of revenue sharing from these deals. Because if these TV contracts are doling out this much money, the people that's actually doing the work, the labor, that's grinding blood, sweat, and tears, excuse me, tears to make sure that we are being entertained through a television screen, that we are being entertained by a sporting event. I hope that this means that these players are now getting a cut of the revenue. It's time to start taking care of the players in terms of revenue sharing, mental health care, mental and health care. It's time to start taking care of them, because they are the one putting their bodies on the line for this. One injury could potentially snatch away millions of dollars for these players from pursuing their lifelong dream of being in the NFL. So which is why I'm a big proponent of kneeling itself, because these players deserve this money. And they deserve to get paid. So I'm hoping revenue sharing becomes a thing with these players finally getting a cut of the pie. But also, this brings up a couple of interesting things. Is ESPN going to shut out the Big Ten and all their coverage? Well, even more than they kindly usually do. Because when hockey stepped away from ESPN, you literally did not hear about hockey for years. And I'm talking years. The only time I heard about hockey after it went away on ESPN was when the Blackhawks. They have their own issues. I'm not about to get into that. But yeah, so, and it's like the Big Ten has some of the biggest teams that have the most ratings in the country. You can't just really ignore them. And this is going to be an interesting discussion when it comes up to the playoffs, because now it's going to be about who's going to be hosting this. Because I firmly believe Kevin Warren Fox told Kevin Warren to stall these negotiations, to stall the playoffs from expanding so more media partners can get in. I fully believe that's what Fox told Kevin Warren. And so I fully believe that the college football playoff will expand. I don't know how many teams, but they're saying it's floating around 16, which would be insane, because then I hope the top 4 get buys and the first round is on campus. That'll be dope. And that it'll be different media partners. And with the Big Ten pretty much cutting ESPN out, if you want a Big Ten team in a playoff, because you can't have a playoff without the Big Ten. So you would have to have Fox, CBS, NBC in on the deal. That's the only way it would work. It would be like the NFL playoffs. If you watch any NFL playoffs, there are multiple media partners. You have ABC, you have ESPN, you have CBS, you have Fox, and then the Super Bowl usually goes to NBC. Yeah, the Super Bowl usually goes to NBC or ESPN. I forget how that works. But they rotate a lot during the playoffs. So we are headed into some uncharted territory within college football. The Big Ten is really getting $1.5 billion. I'm still stuck on that number. But I'm just the gamer. I'm signing out. If you made it this far, please make sure you leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure that bell notification you're notified every single time I upload. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.